Kids, this is my vlog for March the 8th, 2013. How are you? Project Animal Integration is going well. Kitties and doggies and turtles are cohabitating pretty well. Only the occasional hiss or growl now. Everything's working out well, both indoors and in the lanai. And I actually got them all to sleep on my bed, if only for a few minutes. They all fell asleep yesterday in the evening while I was whilst watching TV. So, pretty proud of that. Big accomplishment. Yesterday was the first day that I can recall in I can't remember when, where I actually felt not only alive, but I felt like I wanted to be alive. And I was actually enjoying being alive as opposed to enduring it. Now, I don't know if a lot of you don't really understand about morbid depression, but basically you endure life. It's just this long drudge that you wish would never, you wish would end quickly, but it never does. Yesterday, I actually had a wonderful day. I actually enjoyed living. I enjoyed my little animal integration. I enjoyed going outside and sitting on my lanai, smelling the fresh air, hearing the birds, blah, blah, blah. It was wonderful from morning until I went to bed. I slept wonderful last night, and I felt pretty good today. Now, yesterday I also had a project which I've started, which is something that's been burning my ass for a long time, is the lack of mental health facilities and help in my county, and the lack of affordable dental care in my county. So yesterday, I went from the top of the heap, the President of the United States, all the way down to the bottom of the barrel, which is my county elected person, whoever that is, whatever they call that, and everyone in between, state and federal. And I can honestly say that the only two people that were worth at all talking to, or knew how to talk to people at all, were the phone representative for my Republican House representative for the state of Florida in Tallahassee, and the county commission, my county commissioner. I guess the commission's office has a central person that takes messages for all the people, all the different commissioners, and she was actually helpful and delightful. Now, the representative for Governor Rick Scott, who, believe me, I'm no fan of, actually transferred me to someone that was trying to help me. So I was rather impressed with that, although I still am playing phone tag with that person that other person told me to contact. So we'll see how that goes. But it was really kind of disheartening, and a couple of times I had these people doing this political doublespeak with me. Now, I'm insane, and trying to make things difficult for me, or speaking stupidly at me, just makes me ask more questions, especially if I don't understand. I'll ask a lot of questions, very probing questions, things that people don't think about. And at one point, I had a couple of these people on the phone who were actually just double speaking me. They were just talking stupid, and they didn't know what they were saying, and they had no idea about the facts, and they frankly could care less. And as opposed to just saying, I don't know what you're talking about, I frankly don't care, and please get off the phone, they just chattered at me. And at one point, a couple of times, actually, I had to say, do you realize how insane you sound when you're talking to me? I said, coming from an insane person, this sounds insane. I said, the process that you just laid out for me sounds absolutely insane. And actually, one of them spit their coffee or whatever they were drinking, and had to laugh out loud and said, well, actually, you're right now that I think about it. I said, I would examine that. I said, does it take an insane person to call you to point out that all these processes that we have to go through are kind of insane? And they had to admit, well, yeah, I guess so. So insane people, get on the phone, ask questions. You'd be amazed how screwed up things are. And then they wonder why they run up deficits. I mean, for goodness gracious sakes, it is just crazy. It's absolutely insane. There's no reason for this. So, and I have to say, I only have one Democratic representative that represents me personally, and that is Senator Nelson. And he's got a really shitty, snotty staff. He's the senior senator for Florida. Marco Rubio's staff they're not at all, they have no personality, and they're very arrogant. But Senator Nelson's staff are just shitty people. Just shitty. Every time I've ever called them, they're just shitty and arrogant. And who needs that? It's really gross. So that's all about that. What else is going on? What is this thing now? There's been like not a lot of news that has excited me this week. Actually, most of the news has been kind of depressing. I was impressed that Obama took the people out for dinner the other night, and I was impressed that he had that dickweed over for lunch yesterday or whatever. I guess that's a good thing that he's reaching out across the aisle and paying for food and getting things and actually getting the truth out, which is nice because I guess a lot of Republicans didn't know the truth. Shocking. Isn't that shocking? They admitted it too. That's even more shocking. So I guess we're not as far apart as we thought we were, which I guess is a good thing. Now, the little dick dude, I don't know why everybody like raised on the basketball dude, Dennis Rodman, that went to North Korea. Frankly, who cares what Dennis Rodman does? And frankly, who really gives a fuck about North Korea? Nobody really does. But I guess because he got his Dennis Rodman on, now his dick grew bigger, and he decided he was going to threaten South Korea and the United States with nuclear annihilation. So I'm waiting. I'm all packed. I'm waiting to be vaporized, hoping that my house is ground zero for that. I'm waiting. But certainly not a way to get attention, positive attention around the world. I can assure you that. And then this weird thing. Now, you have to understand, there is not 1 ounce of me that has ever liked Justin Bieber at all. I don't like his music. I don't think he's cute. There's nothing he has zero redeeming qualities in my mind. Zero. He's a snotty little queen that needs to grow up and come out of the closet and learn how to behave. Because he's just a snotty little spoiled queen. And that's exactly what I think about him. And he's not that talented. He's not funny. He can't act. He's just fake. He's like watching an elementary school play, and not a good one. So I guess recently he was late for a concert or something in London, I read, and because it's like top of the news. I mean, in the morning, I don't want to see that with my coffee. But I guess he was late to a concert, and he pissed off a bunch of parents because a lot of little girls spent a lot of money to go see him and either had to leave early to catch the last tube or bus or whatever, or they stayed and had to pay taxis and were late for school the next morning. And anyway, they were all outraged. So he supposedly apologized and said the rest of his tour in London would be perfect and lovely and wonderful. Then he went on some Twitter rampage or something like that. I don't have Twitter, so I don't know. And he'd be the last person I'd ever want to follow. So he went on some Twitter rampage, which gave everybody the vapors, I guess, and made him look like an idiot. And then he went out back on stage for supposedly these perfect performances, and apparently went out and fainted. And then went to the hospital and took off his shirt and took a picture of himself and sent it out on Twitter. I don't know if I'd be kind of pissed if I went to his concert and he was singing and then he fainted and they took him to the hospital, or if I'd be more pissed if he showed up late. Either way, he didn't do the show. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why anybody even listens to his music. I don't understand. And why they let him host SNL, I'll never know. He is not Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake has talent. I have met Justin Timberlake. I have met Justin Timberlake in person. Justin Timberlake is charming, he is adorable, and he is full of life, and he is very talented, and he works. I mean, he can sing, he can dance, he can tell jokes, he can act. Justin Timberlake is the package. Justin Bieber is nobody's package. He is this. Justin Timberlake is this. Justin Bieber is this. Okay? Just saying. So that's all I had to talk about today. Hope you have a nice weekend.